What's up, Jets fans? Welcome back to Jetstream News. What if I told you? The biggest battles on the New York Jets roster aren't for starting jobs. They're for NFL careers. Because when training camp begins, every practice, every snap, every mistake could determine whether some players make the 53-man roster or start looking for a new team. This is where dreams become reality and where careers can end overnight. Aaron Glenn has made one thing crystal clear since becoming head coach. Nobody has a guaranteed spot, not veterans, not draft picks, not former starters. Everyone has to earn it. Today, we're looking at 5 Jets players who enter training camp with everything on the line, why each battle matters, and which position groups could produce the biggest surprises before Week 1. Let's get started.
But before we get into it, if you're a die-hard Jets fan, make sure you're subscribed to Jetstream News. We're your go-to source for daily engaging content on all things. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers this offseason by hitting that subscribe button.
One of the biggest differences under Aaron Glenn is the culture. There are no promises. There are no automatic starters. Every position is open to competition. That philosophy has already been evident throughout OTAs and minicamp, where coaches emphasized evaluation, development, and accountability rather than simply protecting veteran roles. That means training camp won't simply be about improving. It'll be about surviving. Let's begin with the quarterback room. When the Jets drafted Cade Klubnik, everyone immediately started thinking about the future. But first, he has to earn his place. With Geno Smith firmly established as the starter, the real competition is behind him, where Klubnik is competing with experienced quarterbacks for a roster spot and long-term development opportunities. This isn't about becoming QB1 today. It's about proving he's ready to become QB1 someday. Every preseason drive matters. Every decision matters. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting young defensive backs on this roster, D'Angelo Pons. OTAs gave fans a glimpse of his athleticism, but training camp is where cornerbacks truly separate themselves. Can he consistently cover NFL receivers? Can he hold up in physical situations? Can he earn Aaron Glenn's trust? With the Jets rebuilding their secondary and emphasizing competition, young defensive backs have a real opportunity to climb the depth chart if they perform well. Wide receiver may quietly become one of the deepest position groups on this roster. That's good news for the Jets, but dangerous news for bubble players. Isaiah Williams has flashed playmaking ability. Now he must prove he deserves one of the limited receiver spots. Special teams, route running, consistency, availability. Those small details often determine final roster decisions. One great preseason game isn't enough. Coaches want reliability every single day. Let's move to the defensive line. Eric Watts has already shown flashes during his time with the organization. But this defensive front is becoming increasingly competitive. David Bailey arrives, veterans return. Young talent continues developing. That means rotational players must prove they deserve valuable defensive snaps. Watts has another opportunity. Now he has to capitalize on it. Believe it or not, one of the most intense competitions may happen with specialists. Following offseason changes, the Jets entered OTAs with multiple kickers competing for one job, making every field goal attempt during camp and preseason critical. There is no room for inconsistency. One missed kick, one bad preseason performance could completely change the outcome. Sometimes the smallest position creates the biggest pressure. Beyond individual players, several position groups deserve close attention. Quarterback depth, cornerback, wide receiver, defensive line, special teams. These aren't just camp storylines. They're roster-defining competitions. Recent coverage around the Jets has also highlighted under-the-radar roster battles and difficult cut decisions as training camp approaches. And that's exactly what makes this year's camp so fascinating. Previous Jets teams often entered camp with predictable depth charts. Not anymore. Aaron Glenn wants competition. Frank Reich wants execution. The front office wants players who fit the new identity. That means effort alone won't be enough. Players must show football IQ, discipline, versatility, physicality, consistency. That's how winning rosters are built. Every NFL training camp produces one surprise, an undrafted player, a second-year breakout, a forgotten veteran, someone nobody expected. The Jets have several candidates. Maybe it's D'Angelo Pons. Maybe it's Isaiah Williams. Maybe it's Eric Watts. Or maybe someone we're not even discussing yet. That's the beauty of training camp. Reputations disappear. Performance becomes everything. Jets fans. The next few weeks won't just shape the depth chart. They'll shape the future of this football team. Some players will earn starting jobs. Some will earn roster spots. Some will earn a second chance. And unfortunately, some careers with the New York Jets will come to an end. That's the reality of the NFL. But it's also why training camp is one of the most exciting parts of the season. Because every single practice tells a story. And this year's story could define the Aaron Glenn era before Week 1 even begins. Now I want to hear from you, Jets fans. Which player do you think has the most to prove during training camp? Is it Cade Klubnik, D'Angelo Pons, Isaiah Williams, or another player fighting for a roster spot? Leave your prediction in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because here on Jetstream News, we bring you the latest New York Jets news, rumors, training camp coverage, roster battles, player analysis, and everything happening around Gang Green every single day. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Jets!
Realize so free.